All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Shemal, Shabbat, Shemar, Kakadash, the abundance of the apostle and others, a great millstone, and Shalom to the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. It's the brother Barzar from Great Millstone, Atlanta. You know, just have this lesson on, on basically never trusting your enemy. Don't trust the government. You know, your federal government, your state government, your local. You know, your elected officials, your mayors. You know, nothing in this society. You know, don't trust it, man. You know, we're scripture speak about using the world, don't abuse it. So of course we're gonna use this world. You know, you have certain programs that you might have to attend to. Like recently, they just gave the stimulus checks out. Some people didn't. Some people did receive their stimulus checks, and it's really having a lot of people rely on the government. And you're starting to see a lot of food drives going on. You're starting to see $1 million donations, multi-million-dollar donations towards vaccines, and a lot of people are quote unquote contributing to the atrocious cause that's going on throughout America. You know, you're seeing Donald Trump donating ventilators to Russia and various other countries. You know, and you see basically Americans banding together to fight the quote unquote invisible enemy, and that's really rocking Jake to sleep, thinking that America's for their benefit when truly this society is for their demise. First off, this disease outbreak was something that was created, you know, to get you Jakes, quarantine, lock you in a house, and initiate the National Guard martial law, and what the next thing they're pushing now is mandatory vaccines, you know, which Bill Gates, if I'm not mistaken, he's one of the major funders of this vaccination. I think contributed $100 million towards the vaccination. And he had a interview when he was speaking with Ellen DeGeneres, and he was speaking about the only way to defeat the enemy is getting vaccinations. So a lot of people are listening to a lot of these different media sources, and they don't know what direction to go, so they're really getting compliant, and that's really part of the tactics, which I have this term right here, Hegelian dialectics of Esau. And matter of fact, since I was speaking on that, I want to highlight a little bit on this Hegelian dialectics. Going to the definition, it says Hegelian dialectics, usually presented in a threefold manner, was stated by Heinrich Moritz Shalabu. If I'm not mistaken, I might have butchered it, but as comprising three dialectic stages of development: a thesis, giving rise to its reaction; an antithesis, which contradicts or negates the thesis; and the tension between the two being resolved by means of what is it? My computer's bad and funny, but basically creating a problem. Like another term is problem reaction solution. So they create a problem, they get the reaction from the system, then they come out eventually with the solution, and the solution for everything is to take the vaccination or the chip. Here there's another example: Hegelian dialectics agenda, shut down alternative media; thesis, faking fake news to cause public outcry; antithesis, online Big Brother censorship; synthesis, removal of free speech on the web. So this is chess, man. This is one of the chess pieces, chess strategies that Esau uses to hurt the masses of the people. And that's why you have legislations passed against speech, even against this coronavirus, which I did a video on that. How a lot of media, individuals throughout the media, which this really is the media. This is a form of the media too. The internet are being blocked and censored and getting their content removed for speaking out and looking into the origins of the coronavirus. So Esau has an agenda. He has a program, and the program is the Illuminati and their control of the masses of the people. And you see how far the the rabbit hole goes. You have the level of control with Esau is all around. You know, you have the school, which at the bottom you have the sheep, which we represent the sheep of the slaves. You know, debt slaves, and Esau's putting us further and further into a debt. You know, and he's really tanking his own economy to break everything down to re-assimilate it. You know, upon the New World Order, and you see the birth. You see schools. You know, which they just shut down the different schools, which really they control people through the school educational system. Anyways, the education that's being presented is you know, a lot of it's bullshit. You know, a lot of it's to keep you in the keep you controlled in the system. A lot of it's to push white rhetoric. You know, push white supremacy, and basically you know, narrate that you know, it's to narrate it's to control the narrative. You know, they never tell you you're Israelite. They never tell you that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are God's chosen people in the school educational system. You know, they just tell you as a slave you was brought here. Then they start to like when you learn U.S. history and you really get into that U.S. history. You know, they really big up the founding fathers, your George Washingtons, your Abraham Lincoln, so on and so forth. You know, uh, which that's a topic for another time. All of these are, you know, good subject matters when you go into them, but you see the taxes, debts, retirement cycle, and really this coronavirus really sucked the retirement and really anything that Jake was putting their money towards, you know, the so-called savings and things of that nature. You know, all that spirit of really trying to lay up treasures here in this society, that's dying out, man. You know, because what this white man has a plan, and in order to really keep your funds and to keep yourself um, stabilized in a society, you have to take the chip. And you see the population resources, which Esau is further sucking up the resources. You know, they're really breaking down the middle and low class, and they're like they say, saying was on New Jack City, how the rich get richer and the poor don't get a damn thing. That's definitely true. You have the labor units, like I said, the education, religion, and you know now it's being shut down, which they're using. You know, these churches, they're just using the churches as the face, because really these pastors are really being, you know, persecuted to a certain degree for actually opening their churches and having gatherings, which really they know who the truth really comes through, and it's you know, it's really through the word of Yahweh Shema Shine. It's really the Israelites. You see the governments, you see the education, media. You know, a lot of the things you watch on the media, you get so deep into the media that you start to believe that bullshit, man. Now, excuse my French, but you'll watch these different press conferences, you know, and you'll see the presidential candidates and things of that nature, and you start to pick a side when it's both of them is you know, it's two horns on the same devil, man. What they say, two wings on the same filthy bird. You know, whether it's the right, whether it's the left, it's still controlled by the Illuminati, by the elites. All right, world population, world resource control. You know, and all resources are starting to be restricted. Now they're saying what non-essential personnel. You know, they're making it where, you know, they control what you buy and what you don't buy, and they're really, you know, they're gaining a lot from this whole crisis. You know, they're seeing how aggressive certain states are. You know, when lockdown happens, they're seeing which ones are most compliant. You know, and that's why they keep telling these jakes that they have a solution coming, because they want to see who truly trusts in the society. You know, especially when this vaccination, you know, is makes way. You know, if they mandate it, the ones that don't take the vaccination, you know, it's going to be all kind of penalties. And you see the World Financial Control, which is the taxes, the internet revenue, which is the revenue on the whole. Who's on the face of the dollar bill? Who's on the face on your tens, your twenties? You know, all your big bills, your little bills is Edomites, man. That's the ones that control. Then you know, you when you go up the pyramid, you see the committees, the council, crown council of the 13, which the 13 families, and you see how they all really work with Satan. And that's all prophecy. You know, that's all prophecy at the end of the day. So, you know, you Jakes, you shouldn't be getting caught up in any of these things. You shouldn't be getting caught up in the education. You shouldn't be getting caught up in religion. You shouldn't be getting caught up in the government. You shouldn't be getting caught up in media. None of these things are for your benefit. All of it is for your demise. That's why at the end of the day, it boils down to trusting in Yahweh Shema Shah by Shem Kodash. And I did want to speak on this whole state that we're in now, because people are receiving checks, and now they want more checks, and they're really, you know, basically like dogs that's willing to eat anything at the white man's table. Eat the bones, eat them, chew through the gristle just to actually get their stomachs full. And that's the status of a nanny state, because Esau is starting to, he threw you a couple scraps, and now you're starting to become fully dependent. Scripture speak about trusting in the shadow of Egypt. So it says the government, and this is under the definition of nanny state, the government regarded as overprotective or as interfering unduly with personal choice. So the choice that you may think you have, you don't have. All right. And that choice was lost when, all these different things got suspended. You don't have the choice of going outside and try to go to the gym. Try to disobey what the government has said, and they'll lock your ass up, and they'll say, all right, we were just trying to protect you. We were just trying to stop the spread of the virus, which really that's pushing the United States into a nanny state, man. Like I was just now reading the Hegelian dialectics. You also have pressure from above, pressure from below. You have ordo ab chaos, which is order ab chaos, create chaotic events, and then reestablish it upon order. I'm just gonna read the scripture and close for the essence of time. Gotta head out, unfortunately. But this is Proverbs 26:24. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. So when you listen to these politicians, it seems like they're for your benefit, but they truly hate your ass, man. I'm talking about you Negroes, all right? There's been all kind of poison that was pushed in your communities deliberately, all right? HIV, AIDS, syphilis, herpes, drugs, guns, and that deceit, just because you don't see it on the forefront doesn't mean that he's for you, for your benefit, because he lays it within him. When he speaketh fair, these devils speak fair. They have they're eloquent. They have a way with words, but the scripture says, believe him not. Don't believe what the hell he's saying. For there are 7 abominations in his heart, which is his mind. So he has a lot of things in his mind, different tricks and schemes, plots, to snares, to lock your ass down. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be shown before the whole congregation. Yeah, and a lot of people was talking shit about Trump, but now everybody's kind of quiet, and they're looking, for Trump to save them. And you think Trump doesn't remember all the shit that people were saying, the memes and the posts, all the, it was storms of people that was coming against him, and it ain't even really only Trump, because Trump's just a face, it's really the elites who have a program. Whether you're down for it or not, they're going to push this program, Even Aaron Russo spoke about that when he had that sit down with Nick Rockefeller, where they said that the chip is, basically going to be unavoidable. You're going to have to take that chip, So us brothers got to be in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, and that's for the elect, the 1/3, and of course the 144,000 and the 1/3, because this is really the time to pull out of the system, pull out the matrix. The matrix is not for you; it's against you. The only thing that's for you is the brotherhoods, the ones that's attached to the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. So I want to end by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Shema Shai by Shem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom Akim.